Hey, this is Ciderhelm and welcome back to Pro Playbacks. We're checking out the final match between Evil Geniuses and Fnatic. Because this was such a critical matchup to the final standings in Europe, I wanted to cover exactly what led Fnatic to victory. But the match didn't boil down to a single team fight, so there's a few things we're gonna look at. First off, Varus, played by Pushu, is almost certainly the MVP of this match. He landed arrow after arrow in nearly every close engagement, chunking down his opponents before fights broke out. Good poke deters teams that are heavy on initiation, and this is because it becomes increasingly less desirable to commit to a team fight as your team is taking more and more damage. Second, let's talk about Fizz. Froggen has done an excellent job as Fizz this match, and I don't think there's anything really to call out about his personal play. But the champion pick doesn't wind up synergizing terribly well with the rest of the team, which is based on a giant wombo combo from Zyra, Amumu, Aatrox, and Misfortune. As a champion, Fizz relies on being able to fall out of a fight until his cooldowns are available again, but he rarely had a second chance to go in fights to push out more damage. Third, Fnatic has done a good job staying spread out to avoid this wombo combo. In 3 critical teamfights, ultimates from either Zyra or Amumu fail to connect with more than 1 or 2 opponents. Beyond this, Evil Geniuses takes huge tower damage waiting for an opportunity to wombo combo that never comes because of how spread out Fnatic is. And tying this back to Varus, this deterrent to initiation is what allows Varus to hang around and keep getting his arrows out before a fight breaks out. And fourth, I will belabor the point that we so often cover in this series, Baron throws. Not 1, not 2, but 3 Baron throws this match. In the first big throw, Evil Geniuses engages onto Baron shortly after killing Ahri, but they're debuffed by Baron, have taken damage, and have been harassed down further by Varus' poke. With Amumu's one-person ultimate and Kennen's Hourglass, Evil Geniuses go 0 for 3 and loses a slight lead they had maintained. In the second big throw, they engage immediately after bursting down Lulu. Ahri is clearly visible on the other side of the map, and just as we've talked about on this series, they entirely forget that Ahri has teleport, this time pushing them right back off Baron. What happens next is a brilliant outplay from Fnatic. First, they fall back and split up, making it look like a clearly favorable teamfight for Evil Geniuses. But Ahri and Varus both get a lot of poke damage out during the chase, and Kennen rushes towards mid lane to push down the final mid lane tower. This causes their opponents to fall back and recall, and Fnatic has enough vision to know this is happening, so they move to interrupt it. 2 members of Evil Geniuses finish their recall, but Kennen has already taken the tower, and Fnatic walks out with 2 free kills. The final throw is a clear miscommunication. Evil Geniuses moves into a Baron bait from Fnatic, but as Fnatic turns on them, they completely split. Zyra stays in the front but fails to land a strong ultimate as Misfortune, Aatrox, and Fizz are too far away to engage. Though they got part of their combo out, it was too little too late as their team was spread out so far. And for what it's worth, Fnatic didn't do Baron after winning this fight. They regrouped and made sure they could do it safely, then went on to win the game. In this match, Evil Geniuses was clearly not focused. Fnatic played very well, and I want to emphasize that, but the second half of this game was filled with fundamental mistakes that they could not recover from. Thanks for watching today's episode of Pro Playbacks. Stay tuned for more European analysis.